Well, I'm here with Keith Phelps, and we're wearing the green because it's time for St. Patrick's Day.
It sure is, and we're going to do something really fun today. I thought because of the way the winter's been, it would be fun to play in the soil a little bit.
Yay, Keith!
So we're going to make a planter for St. Patrick's Day, and what we're going to do is we have our wooden planter here. I think this is beautiful. It's made out of old barn boards.
Gorgeous.
And what we're going to do is line this. Now, if you wanted to and you're putting it outside on a porch or a patio or anything like that, you wouldn't have to and you could let it drain. I think we want to use it on a table in the house. So we're going to take, and what I have here is a trash bag, and so that's giving us a double layer of lining. Now the only thing that you're going to have to make sure of is when you water it, that you don't overwater it.
Oh, because it's
Because
not
it's
going to
not
drain.
going to drain out of this.
Gotcha.
And if you would decide later on that you have this and you want to take it outside, all you would simply have to do is lift it up, and where the slit is down the center of it, poke some holes in your bag.
Okay.
So we're going to start with our regular planting soil, and this is our good container mix. Now, because we're doing a spring early spring container, early
very
spring,
early.
we don't need to put in the slow release fertilizer. We don't need to put in any of the soil moist because these plants aren't going to grow a whole lot right now in what we're doing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use a couple of the Lenten roses. These are the Helleblers. And this is rose white ice is the variety of this. And I thought for St. Patrick's Day,
Look at how pretty with the green. Oh, beautiful.
with the white flowers. So we're going to put 2 of these in here. Now remember that Lenten roses don't like to have their roots messed with a lot.
All right.
But this really is root bound, so I am going to open up just a little bit of the bottom.
Okay.
We're going to be planting this into our yard anyway, so we don't really need it to root out into this container that much. So we're going to put 2 of these in here. Now, after St. Patrick's Day, once you're done using this, you're going to be able to take them out of this container and plant them right in your yard. All right, so now the next plant we're going to put in is a house plant. This is a Dieffenbachia. It's sometimes called a dumb cane, and the reason that it's called that is because there's a sap in this that if you get it and you get it on your mouth and your tongue, it causes you can't speak for a little while.
Wow.
So it has an irritant in, so it's best not to eat this plant.
Wow.
Okay.
Good tip.
Yeah. But that way, I just love, again, the way the green and white of this is reflecting
I
for
love
us using this for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Now, this plant right here that we have is a false shamrock. Okay?
Oh, okay.
This is called an oxalis. So it is also called a false shamrock. And I just thought it would be wonderful to put this in here. It's got the little sort of lavender white flowers on it. Some of the leaves on it are burgundy, some of them are green. And these are a great plant for your summer planters for shaded areas. They are, again, a tropical plant, so you would have to dig them up and keep them over. But if you notice right here, we have a little tuber right there.
Yeah.
So these plants all come up from little tubers, so that will expand over the course of the summer, and you will have a lot more of them when you go to do it in the fall.
Now, could you break them apart?
Yes, definitely. So we're going to put that one right over here on this side. And then for this side of the planter, I have a pothos. Now, pothos have been around a long time. There used to be emerald green and marble queen were the 2 varieties that you could get. Now there's probably 75 varieties you can get. Like anything else, they've been plant breeding. This one's called Pearls and Gems. And we're going to take this and put it just a little off center right here in the front. We did leave our plastic around the edge because that way when we get done, we can cut it off.
Right.
But it's better to do it when we're done planting than to do it before we finish up. Now I have one of these for you and one for me. These are called creeping fig. And believe it or not, they're a ficus. So they are out of the same family as like a rubber tree or a fig tree that has the leaves on it. Not the fruiting, but the ornamental fig tree. So I think if you put that right in that corner, I'm going to put mine right here underneath the edge. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to fill this all in with soil so that all of these plants are settled in real good. And then we're going to go ahead and decorate. When you take and put your plants in, sort of pull them away from the edge just a little bit and make sure you get soil down between their root ball and the edge of the container. So when we cut the plastic off, we want to go just right around, and we're going to cut it off right at the top of the wood so that we aren't cutting it down inside, but I don't want to leave it so that it's up over the edge. Now, what I have to finish this off is I have some sheet moss, and this is actually living. So this, I don't think it's going to grow on this, but it could. So we're going to take this and put it on top of it to finish this, because this might even end up being like a centerpiece, or it might be on a sideboard or a table as you're coming in the front door of your home.
Yes, so nice for a table.
You have some reindeer moss right there.
Yeah.
And reindeer moss is actually a lichen. This one I have, it has been dyed to this bright lime green color. And if you're working with reindeer moss and it gets really hard and crisp, if you mist it with water, it'll get soft again like this.
Nice.
It's best to keep it in like a Ziploc container, but the color that it brings in, this is called ting. Ting is actually pretty stiff, but it is curly. So I took this and I soaked it in warm water. So now what I have, it's very, very pliable. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut some of this off, and we are going to make a nest to put in our display. We can take and start winding it together to form our nest. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of this moss down in the bottom of it.
Look, how sweet.
And now we've just made a little nest, and we are going to take our Mrs. St. Patrick bird. We can take her and put her right in the nest. Okay? What we're going to do is set her right front and center, right in here in our arrangement. And then we want to have Dad standing right here watching over things.
Look at how sweet.
And just like that, we've taken a container and we've made it so that it'll look really, really great for St. Patrick's Day. Now, all you would have to do is take those two pieces out. You could add some eggs to this and a rabbit. You would have a gorgeous arrangement for Easter, since Easter is late this year. And then you also have all of these plants that you're going to be able to use in your garden later this summer.
And these are plants that you could pretty much find anywhere, right?
Yes, you can get them at your local garden centers. I particularly work at Brookside Acres Greenhouses for the spring season. That's at 9290 Buffalo Road right here in Mifflinburg. They are open now for the season. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 until 7, Saturdays 9 till 5. Closed on Sundays, and they do have all of these plants available at their greenhouse, plus a huge selection of all different colors of hellebores.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Keith, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
To you too.
Thanks.